on the show, we discussed how the left and right have both dropped the ball on cannabis legalization. However, my next guest's bill, the States Reform Act, offers significant cannabis reform on a federal level. She gonna kick it to the states. She believes it will bring people together from both sides of the aisle in one big, happy, hazy circle. Joining me now, the bill's sponsor, South Carolina Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, and thank you.
Great to have you here. When did you decide to go all Bob Marley on the Republican caucus? I applaud you.
Yeah, well, actually, I've been working on cannabis reform since I was a state lawmaker before I actually ever came to Congress in the first place. So it's an issue that I campaigned on in my general election last year. I represent Charleston, South Carolina, and along the coast down south of there. It's a swing district, and it's something that I campaigned on. It's important to me personally. And this has been a very long, very expensive, and very harmful federal war on plants, and it's time to end it. We have all but 3 states in this country that have some form of cannabis legalization. My home state of South Carolina, we permit CBD. Just south of there is in Florida, they have medical. California has full adult and recreational use.
You're telling me.
And it's time that the federal government, federal law should catch up with where states already are and have been for a number of years.
And so what your legislation is saying is basically we have been so prohibitive at the federal level. You know, this is a Schedule I drug. It is categorized with what are considered to be the most harmful and addictive substances on the planet, yet the vast majority of Americans live in states where it is at least medically legal. So the state should be the ones who decide, but we've still got thousands of people in prison for cannabis crimes, nonviolent ones.
Right, not non-violent cannabis crimes. And this bill has a criminal justice component at the federal level. States, of course, because this is states-driven, states would be in the driver's seat. They can determine, no one's state laws would be forced to change under this particular federal bill, but it does get the federal government out of the way. It provides a tax structure, very low tax structure at 3%. It regulates it and allows states to do whatever it is that they want. And we have people, there are about 2,600 people that would be affected in federal prison that are convicted for and serving nonviolent cannabis-only crimes that would be able to be released and have their records expunged, and then states would be able to do what they want to do. I try to be very thoughtful about including measures that both conservatives and Republicans, moderates and Democrats could get along with. This is a nonpartisan issue. It's 70-30 in most states across the country. A supermajority of Americans are living in states where there's some form of legalization or another where they live. This is common sense and pragmatic.
Well, it's interesting because I'm not surprised that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are lording over an administration that's very bad on the war on drugs, particularly, you know, the war on cannabis, which continues and does such a great disservice to our veterans. I hope that this passes. I know that you will get sponsors outside of your caucus, and I celebrate that. I'm glad you took the time. I'm glad you put the thought into it. I wish more people in Congress were rational like this. Congresswoman Mace, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Do you smoke?
Do I smoke? Oh my goodness. Well, I have a personal story related to cannabis myself. When I was 16, I was raped. I've told this story before, but I was given prescription medication that made the feelings I had of depression worse. And I stopped taking those prescription drugs, and I turned to cannabis for a brief period of time in my life. And so when I talk to veterans, this bill is particularly protective of veterans.
Good.
Ensuring that they're protected, not discriminated against. Yeah, and that the VA can utilize cannabis for their PTSD and their protections for PTSD. So when I talk to vets, you know, I feel that pain because I see that pain. It hurts because I felt that pain before in my life. And veteran suicide, we see it every single day.
Yeah, and there has been an uptick since the botched Afghanistan withdrawal. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Don't fear the reefer, and thank you for bringing all of this to light. Please keep us posted.